We're here again at University of Karate, and we're going into another look at Master Kane Uechi, Uechiryu, and we're going to take a look at this video and have Sensei Mike Biddle here with us. Just talk about some of the things he sees here, some of the things that he has in his experience understood about the Sanchin Kata, the different techniques therein, and just have a conversation. Let's take a look, starting right now.
So one of the first things I noticed when you watch Master Uechi do his movements, so much today now is pushed into the what I call the power strikes, the extreme tenseness, the conditioning, the hard part of the art. But when you watch Master Uechi here, you see he's moving very smoothly, very fluidly. There's clearly tension there, and there's a way of that dynamic tension is created, but you don't see those hard, real tight, power type movements. It's just very fluid and very consistently. The problem with the modern Uechiryu style now is the emphasis is so much on power and strength, but you watch Master Uechi here, he's just moving with good fluid techniques. His power is generated by the preciseness of his movements, not by overly tensing muscles. When you overly tense a muscle, you create what I call pockets of tightness. Whereas, an example, you tighten your arms, you've got your biceps tight, your triceps tight, your shoulders tight. They don't work together when you do that. They're blocks, they're just like stuck. But if you use, from the expression half hard, half soft, a lot of people interpret sometimes I'm soft and sometimes I'm hard. But if you're half hard, half soft, meaning I'm consistently tense. I'm both. I'm not neither. I'm not one or the other. I'm both. I'm half hard, half soft at the same time. So then you can move fluidly and smoothly, but still maintain the tenseness and the preciseness of the movement patterns. Muscles aren't overburdened, they're able to move properly, and then again, within the structure of the form, it creates the proper tension by just the actual form itself.
I remember having a conversation with you one time. We were talking about just the motion and the emphasis of tiger, the emphasis of dragon and crane. And I saw a video recently where someone asked Sensei James Thompson about his teacher, Kane Uechi, and what animal does he think that he represents? And he said a gazelle. Not the tiger, not the dragon, not the crane, but a gazelle because of the gracefulness of the movements. So there wasn't any tiger hardness or so on, but just this gazelle-like motion that we're seeing here on the screen, this flowing. Do you see this type of form much in Uechi today when we look on YouTube and what we see today?
No, I mostly just see what's considered tiger, if you were to consider it that. I don't necessarily do, but that's what's apparently being emulated now with the hardness, the extreme power, the speed. Again, not wrong, I'm not arguing with it. I just don't, it seems like that's now the dominant structure.
Do you think that as even excellent martial artists, excellent athletes, physical specimens get older, that there is a need of understanding the motions and the gracefulness and the softer elements of Uechi? I mean, most people that I think watch YouTube videos about Uechi don't think there is, because they see the Sanchin, they see the breaking boards over the wrists, over the toes and so on. They don't think of any soft side. But as you get older and you start mastering, is it you're mastering the hard, or what do you think when you think of just this idea of what you're doing as you get older and you start mastering? Is it mastering the hard, or where does the soft come in Uechi?
Well, A lot of it is just a simple natural evolution. As you get older, you can't do some of that stuff. So when I was young, I did all the board breaking, busting things on my shin. I used to pound on my shin with a hammer. I could kick tables. I could break boards over my arms. You could hit me with almost anything. It would break. I used to hit the mucky water with a one knuckle. I often broke boards with a one knuckle strike, finger strikes. But there was a point in my life where I realized, one, I can't continue to do that and be without having physical problems later. And then the older you get, the harder it becomes to maintain that. Your body simply can't do it. So sort of natural evolution, your body sort of has to adjust to what it's capable of doing. And my teacher once said to me, I asked him about that, and he said, as you're young, you're strong and you have muscle and strong bones and stuff. As you get older, you need to use your mind and your spirit to overcome. And that's where we talk about more of the internal side, but not necessarily what we would think of in the esoteric sense as in chi and all that stuff. That's another topic. But yeah, it's a natural evolution. You have to become more fluid. And also, as you become more adept at the forms and realize what they're doing, the fluidity sort of flows back into it. Remember, our style came from China, and China wasn't what we see today. It was a lot more circular, a lot more fluid, a lot less static. So you sort of should evolve to that, especially as you get older, because those types of hard punches and things are simply not, they're harder and your body can't take doing it. But more importantly, your mind should progress you to the point where that, because fluid is fast. Fast punch versus fluid movement, and we think of a punch as a one point in time. When you're moving and you're fluid, you can be in multiple points at the same time.
This southern style of martial arts, Kung Fu brought it from the southern part of China. It's definitely a different form of martial art from northern style, where you have these long kicks and these long punches. It's more what you call infighting. Wouldn't there be a need for understanding distancing and timing more so than just overpowering someone with strength when it comes to this system?
Certainly, like I think I've said, we've had a conversation, the ultimate form of self-defense is distance. If somebody can't hit you, then they can't hurt you. So if we're self-defense, which implies I'm defending myself, I would rather not have to do much. So timing and distance become a very important element. And Uechi-ryu is designed where if you are inside, it's bad news for your opponent, because it's not long punches, it's short strikes. The movement patterns all derive from the Sanshin center and express outward. And that direction can take almost any form that it needs to take. Within the kata, it has certain expressions, but when you get beyond that, it can take on many, many more. It's infinite. But it's sort of like in the old style of jiu-jitsu, one of my instructors said to me, if a jiu-jitsu practitioner, they like to remain straight-backed and good posture. If you make them bend, you're going to pay. And Uechi-ryu is the same thing. They don't want to attack. Uechi-ryu is a self-defense system. It's designed to repel an attack. So the circle block, for example, you're not initiating aggression. Most all of our techniques begin with blocks and follow with a strike. So someone asked me, well, how would you defend yourself? I said, if someone attacked me, I would do nothing until they moved. I'm not going to initiate the aggression. But if they initiate the aggression, that means they have to come to me or come near the Uechi-ryu practitioner. And when you come inside that range, that distance, then that's where all the stuff begins.
Well, that's an interesting understanding that we're trying to parse out. We're unpacking a number of different elements concerning the Uechiryu Pangai Noon connection. This is the University of Karate. We're looking at physics, history, culture, various points of biomechanics, anything that comes into the understanding of this discipline, the various disciplines that make up martial arts and their history. Once again, we're with Mike Biddle, and we'll see you next time.